sitting 8-0 in the Orlando bubble, and now they may be getting more help to kickstart the next season. According to reports, the Suns have been in trade talks to acquire Chris Paul from the Thunder to pair him with Devin Booker in Phoenix. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard joining us this morning. Chris, we've missed you around here. So I start with you. How big of a threat would this make Phoenix in the West to the Lakers?
Absolutely none. Zero, zilch, nil, nada. I mean, this is comical. Look, first let's start. I know people are excited because Phoenix went 8-0 in the bubble. Oh, and if you add Chris Paul, they might be a threat. But let's really examine the 8-0. They did have good wins over the Clippers and the Mavericks and the Pacers. So I don't want to take that away from them. Devin Booker is a rising star and maybe more. And DeAndre Ayton is playing well as well. And some other of the young players, Mikal Bridges and guys like that. So they're a good young team. But if you look at their last 4 victories in the bubble, the opponents were resting their stars. Oklahoma City, in one loss to Phoenix, played Chris Paul 24 minutes. And then their next 4 best players, Steven Adams and Dennis Schroeder and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, guys like that, they sat out. When they beat Philadelphia, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Al Horford did not play. When they beat Miami, Jimmy Butler did not play. They beat Dallas, Luka played 13 minutes, and Kristaps Porzingis didn't play at all in the second meeting in the bubble, which Phoenix won. So let's put that in perspective and not overestimate how good they were in the bubble. All that said, this would be a good move for Phoenix. If they could get Chris Paul, it would help them. He'd improve their basketball IQ. He'd bring winning pedigree and a mentality. And importantly, he would help DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker without hindering them, without getting in their way and taking the ball out of their hands, just like he helped Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in Oklahoma City. As far as contending, forget it. Forget the Lakers. They wouldn't be with the Clippers or with Golden State,
the Nuggets,
with Denver, and probably not even with Dallas. They would be in that group that would fight for the 6th, 7th, and 8th or 8th seed in the Western Conference. And for a team that hadn't made the playoffs in 10 years, that would be good for the Suns. So I think it would help them. They should do it if they can, but no way. They wouldn't be close to being a contender.
Go ahead, Skip.
No, you go. I want to hear you because I hear Chris, and I heard you earlier on this show, getting a little nervous for your aging man, LeBron James. Uh-oh, here comes another team.
Chris, they would be a threat. They'd be a threat to make the playoffs. That's what the threat is.
Lakers?
No. The Suns would be a threat to make the playoffs considering they hadn't made the playoffs in a decade. That's the only threat. But to the big 3, big 4 at the top, that's not happening. And like you said, I like it because he can play pick and roll with DeAndre Ayton. He can shoot the ball. He can shoot the ball from outside. He can roll to the paint. So because he would be he's DeAndre Jordan on steroids. I don't think he's the defender that Jordan is, but he's a much better offensive player than DeAndre Jordan. And we know what Book is. Book is ascending on the way to being a superstar. He can put the ball in the basket. It would take him off the ball a lot more. He wouldn't need to average 7 assists like he did last year. So I do believe there'll be a much improved ball club. Now, you're going to have to get rid of some guys to make it fit. Skip said they're about $20+ million under the cap. So Oubre's probably going to be gone, who has 1 year left on his contract. Ricky Rubio's probably going to be gone. And maybe one other player, maybe Cam Johnson and maybe Mikal Bridges.
Well, I think they want to keep both of them.
But they will be improved. They will be must-watch TV because Chris Paul brings that to your organization. And plus, you know what? I want to see it because the thing is, Chris, for me, I'm tired of this man having all these excuses. First, it was the bubble. They went to the bubble, and only LeBron wanted to be in the bubble because, everybody else was missing their family. LeBron James was the only one that didn't miss his family and wanted to stay in the bubble. He gave you all these excuses of why the Clippers gagged and didn't have the meeting that everybody wanted to see, including me, because I wanted to beat them over the head. But they're not going to be a threat to the Lakers, maybe to the Clippers because they might gag again. But to the Big 4, that ain't happening.
I asked Both of you, did you pick the Oklahoma City Thunder to be the 4 seed in the West last year?
No.
I ask.
No, I did.
No, nobody saw them coming. Why did they arrive way before anybody saw them coming? Because Chris Paul did not mail it in last year. He went to Oklahoma City and shocked me. He became the driving force of a team that tied for the 4th best record in the West.
Right.
That's an achievement because he took Shai Gilgeous and Steven Adams and Schroeder and Dort and Noel and Basley and Gallinari. And he took that team all the way up to the 4 seed. Well, this is even more made to order for an aging Chris Paul. And if he blesses this trade, he's going to think he has a chance to win in Phoenix.
Win what?
Win it all.
Win a playoff game, win some play, maybe get to the playoffs.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Skip.
Wait, time out. Devin Booker, could you see him winning an MVP at some point in his career? Because I could. I think he's that talented, that explosive.
He's really good.
He is really good.
Could you see a lot MVP, but he's a great player.
Could you see DeAndre Ayton making an all-star team pretty soon? Because I could.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, Chris Paul, perennial all-star. If you have 3 all-star caliber players on one team, and you have what I would call an all-star caliber coach in Monty Williams, who has risen up to have stature and status in this league, that team plays hard and smart for him. And if they could keep Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson, they're nice young players. Yeah. If they can keep Dario Saric, he just comes in and wreaks havoc. He makes things happen. Cameron Payne and Javon Carter. Javon Carter is 3-and-D like crazy. He can shoot the lights out and he can D you up. I like the makeup of this team, and I think both of you are underestimating how much a threat they'd be to the Lakers and the Clippers and the Nuggets and the Jazz and everybody else.
We are immune to threats. We've got vaccinated. We're immune to anything that you can throw at us in the West.
Yeah, you're immune in the bubble, but once you're out of the bubble, you're fair game now.
You do realize we had the #1 seed before we went.
Realize that all the odds makers said the Clippers were the favorite to win it all going into last year's playoffs in the bubble. The odds makers.
Yeah.
That's it.
What I keep telling you about, what did I keep telling you about that? There's a reason why they keep building these $2 billion. You think they're building those with winners' money?
No, that's not what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Said that's the best team. You know it, and I know it.
We were the best team. We've been the best team from start to finish. We had the best record in the West. You said LeBron couldn't do this in the West. Everybody kept saying, oh, he won't do this in the West.
Well,
don't mess with the West.
If you told me a pandemic was coming, I'd say all bets are off because LeBron found himself in the right place, bubble, right time, pandemic.
We the plague. We the one that swept through the West.
Yeah.
You see what we did in the bubble?
The Clippers did not want to be in the bubble.
Skip.
You know it, and I know it.
Skip, here's the other thing, though, we're overlooking. And I'm with Shannon. It'd be a great move. Obviously, you think it'd be a great move. But start talking about Memphis, San Antonio, New Orleans, teams, Portland.
What about, the Blazers?
Don't group Phoenix with the Lakers and the Clippers and all that if they get Chris Paul. Because here's the other thing, Skip. Yes, Chris was great last year, and he played the whole season. You mentioned that he's aging. We all know that. His last 3 years before last year, he had missed more than 20 games each season. And with Houston, I mean, he had championship in his sights. It was legitimately possible, and he still had to miss more than 20 games. So you have to wonder about his health, particularly coming off a short offseason, which is what is going to happen this year with the early start.
And 72